And it looks like we're officially live. Yay!
Yay!
Woot, woot.
Hey,
All
Jamie.
right, you guys. I'm Jamie Allen Bishop with Soul Heart Entertainment, and this is Kate Hore-Lacy. She is a business strategist, a mindset mentor, and a sales yogi. She is just all around the go-to girl for how you put your sales strategy and copy together and take your business to a skyrocketed level, right?
Nicely said, Jamie. Love that. Whoop, whoop.
Awesome. So maybe tell us more about yourself. Fill in the blanks where I left out.
Well, no, that's you. I think you did a really good job. I help good people who are really, really talented at what they do to get better at sales so they can then affect the lives of more people. Because it's unfortunately, it's a lot of the time people who are really, they're good people. They don't want to talk people into things. They don't want to come across as inauthentic, but they're so talented, so good at what they do. And they just wish that other people got that and just bought without them having to do anything. But unfortunately, it's not the case. So I guess what I help people, what I'm really passionate about is I help them get, and this is why I'm called a sales yogi, because yoga is to yoke, to bring everything together. And I'm passionate about helping people bring their messaging and then their sales strategy and, kind of sorting out some of their shadow side and shadow self, upping their confidence, getting their lead generation and their those kind of activities right. And what happens is it makes all that sales part, which is their least favorite part, a lot easier. Yeah, so that's what I'm really passionate about doing, because the more good people we empower to make great money, the more lives that they can affect and change for the better, and the more that us, the good guys, have the money, and whoever a lot of the time has the money, we have a little bit more of a say in the world, a bit more power in the world. We get to choose what foods we buy. We get to support organic, we get to support local, we get to support charities, we get to vote with our dollar. And I think that is a really good thing.
That's huge. That's huge. I completely agree. And it's definitely necessary. And the timing couldn't be better.
Yeah.
2021 is a 5 year, it's a transition year. It's all about change. It's all about upping your game and
Yeah.
owning who you are, right?
Owning who you are. And this is the thing, like we've got both our sides. We've got our kind of side that we show everyone, and then we've got kind of some of our shadow side. But the thing is, there's so much juice in the shadow side. Like I love the parts of us that are resisting things. It's for me in my life, including yoga, for instance. I put off doing yoga for 2 years. Everyone was like, you should do yoga, until finally I was at this big meditation thing, and there was this Indian saint, and there's like about 100 people there, and she's like, you and do you do yoga? And I said, no, I don't. I know the universe is kind of keeps on bringing this up to me right now, and I was almost getting angry about it, because I'm like, no, I don't want to do yoga. I think that's for, like, I don't know. I had this image in my mind of kind of slightly pretentious people. Anyway, she's like, you should. I said, okay. And then I went and finally did it, and I just loved it. It's life-changing for me. It's just one of my favorite things to do. I do it, 5 days a week. So yes, but in a lot of my life, it's always the things that I'm resisting that I'm like, no, I don't want to do it. No, 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 no. That is where the gold is. And for a lot of us conscious entrepreneurs, it's also around sales, like, which is what they're resisting. They're like, no, 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 I don't want to do that. Just people work with me. People work with me, but no, I'm not going to do any of that. But when you own that and you put that into your practice, in a heart-centered way, and you get out there. Another thing for me resisting was doing video. I was so terrified to do it, honestly, Jamie. And that has been the game changer for my business. So a great question to ask yourselves out there, if you're listening to this, is what am I most resisting right now? And what could be the gold in that? How could I lean into that and just say yes? And as Jamie said, I'm going to own my power. I'm going to lean into the change. And because you know what, it's kind of like the key. The universe is going, this is your next step. What are you going to do with it? So what are we going to do with it this year?
Gold
That's the
pot at
question.
the end of that rainbow.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It doesn't feel like a rainbow to start with, but in the end, it is, because you're kind of pushing this thing away, and then you gain this whole part of yourself that you're no longer pushing away, and you become more of this whole person. You've got more of your whole self to bring to the world. So less resistance, more leaning in, because we've all got to step up.
Love it. Love it. Okay, so here's where we transition from we're going to leave the business behind for the most part. Sometimes these questions sort of lead into, because you and I are leading our passion, because we're living who we are in our business. So it does come through. So the business does come through just naturally. But whatever we're doing, inspired, instantaneous question answer session. You don't know these questions, right?
No, I don't. No. Shoot, Jamie.
It's so fun. Okay. So if you were a dessert, what would you be called?
Oh my lordy, if I was a dessert, something like, I don't know, it would have to have cherries. Cherry berry surprise. I don't know why. It just, cherries, I love, absolutely love cherries. It would have to have some meringue. I love pavlova, which is either Australian or New Zealand. So I'd have a bit of that. Some fresh fruit, maybe something healthy like acai berries, because I love all that healthy stuff. And something a little bit fun as well, like some cream. Yeah, so
Love
something.
it.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I like cherry berry surprise. That's perfect.
Okay.
All right. So what charitable causes fill you up? Like,
Oh, that's a great question. So I've been giving to Kiva for some time, which is just giving people microloans. And that's, it just allows them to support themselves, support their families, and buy stuff for themselves, and especially supports female entrepreneurs around the world. There might just be an African doing some sewing stuff for their village, or it might be, having a local store. So I absolutely love Kiva. There's also like this Fistula Foundation, which is a terrible thing to think about, but I'm very passionate about it. Like originally a female Australian doctor went over to Africa, and these African girls are married way too early. And so what happens, they have sex and babies too early, and it ruptures kind of the wall between their kind of urethra and their, the bladder, and then, and anyway, they end up stinking, like, and so then they get ostracized, left outside the village. And they're kind of there from 15 years old. So this lady, it's quite a simple operation. It costs like $50 per person. And for that, so these women walk for days and days to get to this place to hopefully get this operation done. And then she gives them these beautiful new colorful robes, and they're just happy, they're healed, they're free, they can live a normal life. And for $50, I'm really passionate about that, because, getting ostracized from society, like there's nothing that, everybody, it's just such a terrible thing, and for such a young girl. So it gives them their lives back. So that's a Fistula Foundation, if anyone would love to give to that.
I love that. I absolutely love it. Perfect. And not something that a lot of people know about. So important, very important. Okay, what is, and you can interpret it however you like, what is your secret sauce?
I think when I'm connected to the universe, quite honestly, I did quite a lot of core energetics work. I kind of used to see auric fields since I was a kid. I don't know, I can't remember when I started seeing them. Not really super young. Maybe I started noticing them when people were talking. I don't know, maybe when I was a teenager. So I did a fair bit of core energetic stuff. And when I'm not trusting the universe, I block off my crown chakra, and then I do some kind of EFT to clear that, open up to kind of open up my crown chakra again, which then hooks me back in. It's like my little power source back into the universe. And then that just flows through me, and I'm just naturally happy, energized, have more faith. And, you know, every now and then I get disconnected, and that's when I'll just do a little bit of, you know, core energetics, you know, the visual, you know, there's some great work by Dr. Barbara Ann Brennan on that. But yeah, hooking back into the universe, that's probably my secret sauce. And even in a lot of my coaching, a lot of it is intuitive. I can't take credit for it. Yeah, so that's it.
Perfect. Perfect. Love it. And so necessary. I keep saying that to you. Thank you for doing what you do, because it's so necessary.
Oh, thank you, Ty.
All right. Hey, what's your next planned vacation?
So in Australia, well, I think everywhere right now, we are kind of still fairly locked down. So I think what we're going to do is go up north to see my husband's mum and his sister, and also see my best friend who's moved up there as well. They've got a beautiful space for us up there, and we've been meaning to go up for some time. So that's it. Far North Queensland. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. First stop, not Disneyland. First stop, visiting family. Far more important.
Definitely. Oh, yes.
All right. Last but not least, who has influenced your life the most and why?
Definitely my mum. My mum has, I'd love to say, you know, I don't know, some major entrepreneur, but not really, not at all, really. Yeah, it's just my mum. She's just such a grounded, kind person. She's one of those earth angels that people just love to tell her stuff. They love to be in her space. Even walking into her house, it's got such a nurturing, loving space. She's very just honest, open, and just kind. And if I can be like her, then I am winning. So that's it. It's very simple.
Oh, that's precious. I love it. Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure, Jamie. I love talking to you. You have got the most wonderful energy, and I'm sure anyone watching Jamie's show will completely agree with me. What a little live spark she is. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of your stuff. Yes, you are wonderful, Jamie Allen. So yes, thank you for having me on, and lots of love to everybody out there.
And so if somebody wants to get a hold of you, how did they do that?
So I do love LinkedIn. If anyone wants any like short kind of, you know, helpful little positive sales tips in a kind of around a minute, come and find me on LinkedIn, send me a little message, and you'll see my videos coming up. So we can do that. And you can also go to my website, which is katehorelacy.com. I've got some great strategies on there that you can get free straight up. And if you'd like to work with me, again, hit me up on LinkedIn or my website. I would love to work with you and help you take these next steps into the brave unknown.
Love it. Yay. Awesome. Okay. Social media. Thank you for being here for this interview with Kate Hore-Lacy. And I will, of course, put her links in the words, wherever the words go. And we'll see you next time.